Another Flutter tutorial. In today's episode, let's learn how to work with the concept of lifting state backup in Flutter. So now that we have finished creating our dashboard page, let's learn how we can synchronize our list of categories with our grid. So the idea is when a user selects different categories, we want to update the list by displaying only the cars belonging to each category. So for that, you need to understand the concept of lifting state in Flutter. But before that, let's do some change to our application. The first thing I want to do is having a decoupling between this widget, category list widget, with the data. As you can see right here inside of this init state, we are getting this data inside of this widget. Now let's change it to using dependency injection so we can provide the data from this widget right here, my dashboard page. So to do that, the first thing I want to do is come right here, select this code right here for the list of categories. Let's cut it. Let's go inside of my dashboard page and then paste the list right here. So after that, let's create a new method. You can call this void. This will be private. Let's call it load init data. And then inside of it, we'll initialize our lists. So for that, you can copy this code right here, cut it from here, paste it right here. And then let's go to our category widget, and you can also copy these two codes right here, cut it and paste it inside of this list after this all cars right here. So paste it right here. So now let's copy this method and just call it inside of this init state right here after this super.init state. So add a semicolon. So now let's go back right here. So now we can select all this code right here and delete it. After that, we have now to define this list, so using dependency injection. So come right here inside of your stateful widget. This will be final. This will be a list of categories, and you can call this categories. And then you can come right here inside of your category constructor, give it a comma right here, and you can use the required keyword and use this dot categories. So now you can see we still have an error inside of this state class right here. So to be able to access this list, you can use the keyword widget dot and you select your category and provide the length, and right here you can just copy and paste it right here inside of this item builder method right this way. So with that, we have now the decoupling inside of this category list widget. So now we have to provide this list inside of this widget. So call the categories, and instead of adding this empty list, just call your categories list this way. You can also copy and replace right here where we are calling the static list. Just replace it by this list that we have inside of my dashboard page. So now we have a decouple between this category and the category widget. Let's reload everything and see if it's working properly. So get started. As you can see, we are still able to display our list of categories. So now let's see how we can connect these two widgets. So this is where the lift state come in. So the idea is to have right here a second list, so when a user triggers any category right here, update your grid using this list that will be filtered by the ID of each category. So to do that, the first thing I want to do is come right here. Let's create a new helper list. This will be also a list of car, and you can call it filtered cars. This will be also initially to an empty list. So you can copy this keyword right here, late, and paste it in front of these two lists. So now we need to define a new method to filter our all cars list this way. So this can be void, and let's call this apply filter cars. And here we have to provide an ID for our category, so this will be of type int, and you can call this category ID. Inside of it, we'll call the set state method so we can trigger a change in our layout. And then you can call right here the filter cars. This will be equal to all cars, but now we'll filter where. So you can call the where method, and inside of it you have to provide an anonymous method. Let's use this arrow function, and you can use the car as an argument where car dot category ID. This will be equal to our category that we'll get as a parameter. And now we have to do a to list to filter all the items that belong, or all the cars that belong to the same category ID. So with that, copy the list, and let's go inside of our grid widget. Instead of providing this all cars, just replace it by this filter cars. Let's save everything. As you can see, we're not seeing any widgets right here or any list. This is because initially this list is empty. So before we apply any filter, I want to set this filter cars will be equal to all cars. So you can come right here inside of your load init state. After you organize your all list, you can do filter car list. This will be equal to our all car list. So save everything, reload. You can see we have initially getting our grid. So now let's trigger the changes right here. So for that, in Dart, you can provide a function as an argument or as an object to another class. So this is the same thing if you ever work with JavaScript programming language, that you can provide a function as an object to another object. So let's see how to do this in Dart. So for that, you have to come right here inside of category list widget. After this list of category, you can use the keyword final, and then you have to provide the return type. This will be a void, and then using the keyword function, you have to use the parentheses, and here provide what type of argument this function will expect. And then you can name your callback. Let's call this on filter selected. So right here you have to call it using dependency injection. So require this dot on filter selected. So let's go right here in my dashboard page. After this list, we have to call our callback method. So on filter selected, this will be equal to our apply filter this way. So now with this, let's go back to our category list of widgets. So now we need to call this callback method. So inside of our onSelect item where we are creating the index, after the set state, we need to get our selected category. So var category, this will be equal to our widget dot categories, and now using the bracket, let's select the selected category based on this index. So add this selected index, and then you can do a widget dot and call our callback method. Use the parentheses, and now you can do category dot category ID. So with all this, save all these two widgets, reload your app, and let's see if our logic is working. So get started. So initially we have our empty list. So now when we filter, you can see we can filter cars based on their category ID. So you can see these are empty. We don't have any cars right here, but when you do SUV, we have one item. And then when you do electrical, we have two items, and the car only have one item. So this is how we can implement the concept of lift and state backup. So as you can see, now we are able to call or update our layout by calling a method inside of a widget, by calling a method from a parent widget. So this way allows you to use a stateless widget and trigger a layout change by calling the method responsive to update the state. So this is it for this video. If you find this video useful, give a like, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notification when new videos are coming out, and share this video with a friend. And if you have any question, leave a comment. I'll reply to you as soon as possible. So this is it for this video. In the next video, let's learn how to create our search. We'll create this page for this option right here. using the text field widget. So this is it for this video. See you on the next one.